Right, everybody. Let's see what we're doing here. Around. Set you up in my vise here. That's a good enough. That's a good enough of a tripod. I tell you what. All right, as I said in my last video, let me first of all welcome everybody back to Dirt Floor Garage 79. Now, my last video we talked about getting that old rusty rocker panel fixed up. Hope I showed you guys some interesting stuff. Maybe you didn't know some of it. Maybe you did and you just want to hear my ass talk. Funny, I don't know. But today we're going to talk about what I use to treat that metal there with. Now, I've always used this product here. Now, this stuff here you can get at, hell, I get it at Ace Hardware out here where I live. It's pretty good stuff. Now you can see it's like water. But this is a rust killer and rust inhibitor. I've used it for years and it works good. I tell you what, I ain't never had no trouble with it. On the downfall of this stuff here is when you put it on, you gotta wait 24 hours before you can mess with it. Primer, paint, whatever. But that's alright. Plan your project out, throw it on there, and you'll be okay. Now I'll read to you a little bit off the instructions here. And what it's for. It's pretty much for any kind of metal you can think of. It says it's a balanced formula. It's phosphoric acid, dichromates. Now some of these words I'm going to have trouble with. Wetting agents and extenders. It goes on here and say it's primarily used for bare metal applications. And it's not compatible with water-based paints, which I don't ever use water-based paints on automotive stuff here. It says it's recommended under use of oil-based paints. That's kind of what I use in areas that you ain't gonna see, but you want a good hard seal it to hopefully seal that metal up and prevent it from rusting any further. That's what we're after. It says it's a paint job will last much longer with use of this stuff because it says subsequent paint coatings attach themselves tightly and prevent moisture and oxygen from attacking the metal. Let's see. It says it's a rust inhibiting coating. And basically you just need to wire brush all the loose paint, rust scale, dirt, oil, grease, and apply a thin coating of it. It comes pre-diluted. Minimum dry time, 24 hours. And then apply primer paint. Now it says down here, when applied to rusted surfaces, OSPO causes iron dioxide rust to chemically change into iron phosphate, an inert hard substance that turns metal black. OSPO also grows a layer of zinc phosphate to furtherly protect the treated metal from rust and corrosion. And it says where rust is real heavy, you may want to put 2 coats of this stuff on here. Don't be alarmed if it dries to a powdery grayish white surface. It usually develops when it's cured. All you got to do is brush off any loose powder and wipe down with a solvent-based cleaner before painting. I'll show you all that here. Now, I put it on with a paintbrush. We'll go through all that. Let's get in there and treat this thing. How about that? Be the first step in sealing up this old rocker panel, so we can get on to cutting that. I can't even think of what to say. So we can get in here and cut that inner cab corner, get it on out of there. Let's get the new one welded in. Get that passenger side done. Tired of looking at it. All right, guys. Take this stuff here. I went and found me the nicest paintbrush I can find. That's what we're going to use. Just find you an old cup. We ain't going to pour much. Hell, that's probably too much. It's alright, what we don't use, we'll dump back in there. It don't take much of this stuff, guys. Okay. Typically what I do, let's see if I can find us a place to put this wire. I'm gonna hook it on that old rust right there. It ain't the best shot, but dipper brush in it, and we just brush it on. That's it. You just want to get every bit of this in here coated in this stuff, and a little bit goes a long ways. That's what I like about this stuff. Now, I don't got to worry about getting too high up in there, because I can come through the inside and get it. I just want to get down in here where I'm not going to be able to reach when you get all this put back together. So we're just going, and we're going to get everything down and in there. We're going to brush it on everything we can see. And now if there's any rust left back there, that's I guess what they call living rust, it'll kill it. It'll turn it black. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you that in a minute. It won't take it long before it starts working. Now, like down in there, where it meets, that curved piece meets, we're going to drench it and get it to run. I want it to run up and underneath there, and we'll get it to run between these two pieces here. Right there. That's what we're going to do. The best equipment for video shooting here, but it's kind of just self-explanatory on this here too. We're just going to get it in there. Get it in there, get it on there, whatever you want to call it. Now, can you put too much of this stuff on there? Not really, but I have noticed if you put a bunch on there, it won't hurt it. But what it does is when it dries, it'll kind of leave like a whitish, like a dust when it dries. And all you gotta do is reach in there with a rag and with a solvent-based cleaner like Prep-All, something like that, and wipe it off, and then it's ready to paint. But it hardens up, and it does a really good job of killing that rust and sealing out any moisture or anything. I really like this stuff here. Now, is it the best? I don't know, but I've used it for years, and it has never let me down. Never let me down. And we're going to put it all over all this metal that's going to be covered up out here. All of it. Just slap it on. Get it all over everything. Now you can smell it start to work. It's not a putrid smell. It ain't overwhelming. It ain't gonna run you out of the garage. You don't need to be in a well-ventilated area, rah. But you can smell it working. Now the chemical itself really don't have a smell. No, it really don't have a smell. But you can smell it when it gets on that metal. This is all out war on this rust here. This is the final carpet bombing right here. Any rust that's left from us doing all that grinding and sanding and welding, this is the end of it. And this is the final hoorah for it. And this will put a good hard coating on it. We'll come back in and we'll wipe it down. Clean it up real good like it says. And then we're going to come in with a good rusty metal primer, which has got rust protection in it. And then we'll come back with some good oil base rust inhibiting paint. And then we might hit it again with a spray coat of just regular Rust-Oleum in. But I'm telling you right now, I've never had no trouble of any rust coming back on parts that I've put this stuff on. And that's fact. You can believe me or not. I really don't care. If you want to try it, try it. If you got your favorite brand, stick with it. You want to try this, do it. I like this stuff because I know it works. I'm not associated with them. I don't know anything about them, but I do know their product works. And it ain't bad. It's, hell, I think the last time I bought that gallon, it about $35 at Ace Hardware. Now, 1 gallon will do this entire truck. Easy. As you can see, I put that in that cup, and I shouldn't even dump that much in there. It don't take much. It's because it's a water base. What I mean by that is it's like water consistency. So you just get the surface here wet. That's all you got to do. It's going on. Now, we got to wait 24 hours before we can do anything else to it. But I'll show you. That shiny bare metal you're seeing there, it'll turn a darker gray. You can tell that it's been treated with something. And if we got any rust left, it'll turn blacker than an ace of spades. It'll have a hard coating that you can't scratch off. Now, if you got a hold of it with a drill bit or something, you might be able to get it off, but this stuff ain't no joke. Now, we could do all this and paint it and seal it and all that, and then put some undercoating on it, or like a bed lining stuff or whatever. And hell, who knows, we might. But for the most part, I usually just put this stuff on, primer paint, and you're done. Well, let me finish this up here and I'll cut you back on. Alright guys, I finished putting our friend Ospo here on there. We'll let that dry for 24 hours and I'll cut you back on. I'll guarantee you, in 24 hours, that rust will be hollering for mercy. Alright everybody, it's the next morning. Lord, my son's parked his truck right here in the damn driveway. Hell yeah. Let's go out here and see what this old truck looks like. It's been about 15 hours since we've put our rust stuff on there. So it ain't quite time to mess with it, but let's go see what's going on. I swear last night when I was laying there in the bed, I heard that rust out here hollering and pleading for its life. I think that old Ospo's got a hold of it. Look there. That's a damn fact. Going that in there. Let's see what's going on in here. Shut the door. It's kind of cool this morning. It is kind of cool in here this morning. Get us some lights cut on. My damn camera's always zoomed in. Yeah, it's kind of chilly out here. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, I know Ospo's got that in a full Nelson. Getting ready to go into the rear naked choke. It's got that rust on the run. And you see here how dull that looks. Remember me telling you how shiny it was? It dulls it down. You can tell it's got a coating on it. Look there, how black that rust is. What little bit was left. See, that looks rougher than Fido's ice, but it's smooth. But there's a little bit of rust left in there. Yep. Let's see if I can get a light here. Yeah, see how black that turned? That's why I got down in where them 2 pieces of metal were. So that stuff's working. We still got a little while to go, maybe 4 or 5 more hours. It's dry though. I mean, dry to the touch. You touch it. It's dry. I really don't know why they want you to wait 24 hours. But I just do what it says. But let's go over the paint I put on there. It ain't nothing. Just run down there at Lowe's and get you some. I bought this gallon here many moons ago. It's still good. That's what I put on there first. And just Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. It works good. Nah, I think blurry or not, no what. It says provides the best base surface on heavily rusted metal for Rust-Oleum professional enamels. Provides more than 2 times the rust prevention of using enamels alone. Superior adhesion. Prevents chipping, cracking, peeling. Good for the soles, molds, coals, and sore isoles. Eliminates the need for additional top coats and touch-ups. Start every product with professional primer and finish with professional enamel for the longest lasting, best possible finish every time. Hellfire, I could have been a salesman. But yeah, that's what I use there. And then top it off, black it out with this little can of flat black. Again, you don't see this. It'll all be covered up. So we're basically putting it's like a 3-stage rust system. Got you, throw it up there. That's what I use. And I've used that little setup there for years. And I tell you what, I've put that on this setup here on the bottom of my old lawnmower deck out there. And I did that 5 or 6 years ago. That thing's damn near rusted through in spots. And it's 5 or 6 years now. And everything's still going. And there ain't no rust coming through. It killed it dead in its tracks. So I believe in this little system here. And I know Eastwood and Pour 15 and just, Lord, it goes on and on and on. I've used those products, yes. Typically, I got to order those and wait on them to get here. Swing by Ace Hardware. Get me some of that. Swing by Lowe's, Home Depot. And there we go. They sell these here. It's rust treatment. They sell that at Ace in smaller bottles, too. Now, you can get this online if you don't have an Ace Hardware. Right there. I mean, hell, there's the name of it. But I'm telling you guys, this little system right here, I've used it for years, and I ain't never had no problems with rust coming back through. And there's that product I was telling you about when it tells you to wipe it off. And that's what I use when I go to paint the car and everything. I get that on Amazon. And that's the solvent-based cleaner there. And this here, I got that at O'Reilly's. That's like that's a water-based. So sometimes you need a water-based, and sometimes you need a solvent-based. And I use this here mostly. Well, got this too. I just ordered another big jug of this here. This stuff here is good stuff for, prepping in between painting and priming. Priming, painting, had that backwards. Hell, I don't know why I did that. I can. Don't matter. But yeah, we're gonna give this thing a little bit longer to dry, which it's fully dry now. Man could go to slapping that paint on there now. But hell, might as well do what it says. I've always done it the way it says, and I ain't never had no issues. And we'll turn you back on. We go to painting this thing, and we'll get this buttoned up. And that little section there be done. It come out of nowhere, guys. I mean, hell, I should have known. But, yeah. Show you one more time. And see, it just dries into a hard black coating. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Science at work right there. Alright, we should be dry. Let's get in there and wipe that thing down. The magic of editing, huh? 24 hours to me, just a few seconds for y'all. I'm about done with this can here. Alright. Let's get a little microfiber here. And all we're gonna do is just wipe it off. Or not wipe it off, clean it up. Make sure we ain't got no nothing left on there. You ain't gonna wipe it off. It's dried into a hard surface. Let me zoom this out. I'm just doing what they say to do here. They say to wipe it down with a solvent-based cleaner. See how dull gray it turned. Yeah, it ain't shiny anymore. Lights on. Alright, let me get this wiped down real good, and I'll cut you back on here in just a second. Alright, we got her all wiped down there. Show you what it looks like here. Just wiped down, it's dull. That stuff's dried. And we've got that rust run out of there. See, it's slick going down through there. But we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to put some more protection on it, and hopefully we don't got to worry about this here no more. Now I've done stirred this, popped this top. Let's turn this light on here. Oh yeah, I've had this old gallon of paint. I bet you every bit of 3 or 4 years, and that's all I've used of it. I bought it for that car trailer way out there. We've done got that thing painted, and hell, that thing's been painted for years now. But we're finally getting to use it. Get me a paintbrush here. Now, like I said, I done shook that can of paint. This is the primer. I typically put 2 coats of this on it. So we'll put 1 coat on it. Come back about an hour or so, and we'll put our 2nd coat on it. I'll show you, which hell I ain't doing nothing brushing it on, but I'll show you a little bit of that, and I'll cut you off, and I'll probably apply that 2nd coat off camera, and I'll cut you back on whenever we get that black going on there. But let's make this thing look like look better than what it does now. How about that? Hey, fire! I wonder if I can. I bet you I can. Well, yeah, doesn't work too bad. Cut the flash on the camera. I'm trying to get my bristles to lay down here. Okay, let's start way in the back there. This paint here covers pretty good. Them spots way back in there, it's hard to get. I'll get in there with a tiny little paintbrush. Sometimes it's hard to get these bigger brushes in them tight spots. But just look how that paint goes on with that stuff on there. It does real good. We're gonna put it on thick too, boys. This is the Rusty Metal primer here. It looks like an old red oxide primer when we used to use that stuff years ago. Now, like I said, I'm not going up too high in here, because a bunch of this I can get from the inside. Okay, show you a little bit how it's looking in there. Put some more on the bottom. So yeah, let me get this painted. That's all we're doing, is we're just painting. And I'll cut you back on and show you what it looks like. Alright, got our first coat on there. Sorry for the racket in the background. I got that got my fan on to blow some of the air around to help that stuff dry. I'm gonna put 2 coats on it. Now, that big glob of stuff you guys see right there, that is that's some seam seal right there that the factory had put in there. We're just gonna leave it alone. It ain't hurting nothing in there. We painted all back in there. I took me a little brush and got in them cracks. It's hard to see. I don't have no good light. But anywheres where it's tied up in there, got me a little tiny paintbrush and put in it. Now I deliberately didn't paint this here, this section here. And that's because when we go to cut this panel off here, we're going to weld it back onto this. And that weld will get this here so hot it'll blow that paint right off there. So we'll get this here cut off and get it welded on, then I'll finish this up right here. But yeah, that's the first coat of primer on there. It's looking good. It's sealed up. Now anywhere there's going to be body color, this panel here, it'll be body color right there. And that outer cab corner lips over that right there and welds of that. Anywhere if that oil base is sticking out past that, we'll grind that off. We don't want that oil base interfering with our primer and top coat that we're going to put on the truck. But we'll go through all that when we get there. Yeah, got our first coat of primer on. I'll probably cut you back on whenever we get to putting the black on. I'm just gonna let you guys see where we're at. Looking good. Got a few runs in it. I put that stuff on thick. That's alright, that primer will lay down. Yeah, let me cut you back on when we get ready to get the black on now. Alrighty guys. Well, there it is. Now I intentionally left a little bit of primer showing there, and that spot there not painted. I'll have to come back and paint that. Remember, we got to weld our end up on that side. And if you go ahead and paint that, you're coming back through. You're going to be welding here, and it'll burn that paint off. So I'll have to replace that inner cab corner right there, and then we'll finish painting it. But there it is. It's the second coat of black. I think that is a finished job there. That is a far cry better. So we got all the rust gone out of it. Got a couple of them pits welded up, the real deep ones. We got it coated in some rust killer and inhibitor. We got 2 coats of rust inhibiting primer and 2 coats of, this is a satin black. It's real glossy right now, it's still wet. But yep, I think it looks really good. Go around this front side. This is all stuff you guys can do. I'm not using anything fancy, but this stuff works. I've used this system here for many years, and I believe it'll work on this old truck too. We will get many, 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 many years of enjoyment out of this old girl when we get her done, and it will look good. And I'll have the satisfaction of knowing that I've cut out any of the rust that was rusted through, got new panels in, and then the pieces, which I've only got this rocker end right here that was pitted up a little bit but not rusted through. We got it all fixed up and treated. That way when we go to put our new cab corners on, it's all sealed up in there. Yep, I thought I'd turn you on for a minute and show you. I didn't show you painting the black on because, hell, I think all of us can paint. Well, there you have it, guys. I think we've sent that rust packing on this part of the truck. You know, my goal with these videos is to document the journey of bringing this old 69 Ford truck back to life, and to show you don't have to have a lot of money to do these kinds of things. To get the results you're looking for, all it takes is determination and a whole lot of work. So if I can do it, I know you can too. So let's get out there and save these old cars and trucks. They deserve it. Please like and subscribe. My name is Stacy, and this is Dirt 4 Garage 79.